at the law of cosines. Okay, so it's the same thing that we did last night. There's just more of them. So let's look through here real quick. Is there a problem you want me to do? I'm assuming one of the story problems, probably, right? I'm not going to do all of them.
7.
You want me to do number 7?
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at 7.
Number 9.
We can do more than one. Calm down.
9.
Okay. We're looking at 7. A regular hexagon has side lengths 15 and angles that measure 120. So right now this is 120 and these are both 15. We want to find F to B. We want to find this. So what's the first thing we want to do, guys? Step number 1 is always to label. So this is little a, this is little f, this is little b. Okay? And we're going to just change, you guys want to change f to c?
No. Yeah, that'll confuse me.
Okay, you can use f if you want, but up on the equations on the board do not include f. So I just want to mention that we're using c. Okay.
I can't even.
All right. So we're trying to find little a. So that means we're going to use a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cosine a. So I've labeled, I've picked my equation. My next step is to plug it in. A squared equals 15 squared plus 15 squared minus 2 times 15 times 15 cosine 120. So far, so good? What is the problem with the plugging it in? You've labeled everything. You're just replacing letters with numbers.
You just plug it in.
And then my next step, guys, shh. Ladies and gentlemen, quiet please. Shh. What is my next step after I've plugged it all in? Put it in the calculator, right? So I get a squared equals 675. What do I do next?
Square root that.
Square root it. So a equals 25.98 or 25.98.
These are so long.
I wrote down 1, 2, 3, 4 steps.
No, like. I don't know.
It takes up a lot of space,
That's what I mean.
but I don't think it's that many steps.
Well, yeah, because half the steps are going.
Okay. Should I do a word problem?
Yes. Wait.
Number 9.
I'll do number 21. That's fine. Okay. I think the word problems are harder when they don't have pictures, right? So let's do 21 because it doesn't have a picture, right? Okay. A navigator plots the course of a plane is currently traveling. The plane is 300 miles from its destination. If it continues at its current course, it will travel 327 miles and end up 125 miles due south of its destination. To the nearest degree, how many degrees is the plane off course? All right. We got to read this again, right? So here's my plane. Okay, I'm just going to use a dot for my plane for right now. It is 300 miles from my destination. But I'm off course. So it will travel 325 miles and end up 125 miles due south. So we'll go 325 and be 125 miles off. So my plane is A. I want to go to B, but I'm headed towards C right now. Okay? I want to know how many degrees I'm off course. So I want to know this right here, that angle. All right. So I've got my picture. Now I want to, what's my next step? Label. So this is little a, little c, little b. Okay, am I looking for a side or an angle? Angle. I'm looking for angle A, right? So I'm going to use this equation. A equals cosine -1 a squared minus b squared minus c squared all over -2 bc. Correct? That's for little a. So you can use that one and plug it in, but it takes up quite a few more steps on your, like you've got to do b squared plus c squared first, then do -2 bc. Then you've got to subtract the b squared plus c squared. Then you've got to divide by -2 bc, and then you've got to find the inverse of cosine a. So it's more steps. This is one simple one. We just stick it right in. But you can totally use that other one. A equals cosine -1, and I'm going to do what now? Plug it in. So instead of a squared, I'm going to use 125 squared minus 325 squared minus 300 squared all over -2 times 325 times 300. So remember, I hit trig, cosine of -1. Then I hit control divide, and it makes that fraction for me. Then I put in 125 squared minus 325 squared minus 300 squared all over -2 times 325 times 300. And I get A equals 23 degrees, because I'm going to round to the nearest degree. How'd we do? That was horrible?
I got it.
It was good? Okay. So 22 problems seems like an awful lot, doesn't it? It's 23 degrees. So why don't we do evens only for this? Evens only. So you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, and 22. Yep, so you do have to do 11 problems. But most of you had trouble with last night's, so maybe some more practice will help. Okay? Alright. So even only. No.